HR wants you to do some stupid survey, but you know it's not going to change anything. Anything in the workforce, you can compare it to this similar type of situation. The only difference is money and PR. Like, if you, let's say, working in a deli and you're dealing with bad management and all your coworkers know it, you may have more freedom to go to another store or that competitor or whatever, and most likely the pay will be a little bit better. Like, you're giving up something for something. But that situation, eventually, it's not going to last because you do bad business, eventually you're going to run out of business. The NFL can do bad business with its players, and then they have the media to back them up, because then the media doesn't want to play that game where they're constantly going to the NFL, and the NFL just clams up and just says, we're not going to give you any coverage. Or we pick and choose who we're going to give coverage to. It's like Richard Sherman said way back, I think, I think it was during Super Bowl week. He talks about, I put most of the blame on the media because you guys are asking the employees how to hold the employers accountable. You need to be in the face of these employers. And they don't make themselves accessible, but also there's a way to call people out without constantly making it seem like you're on their side, because you're never actually trying to get those people. You're not making it a big deal like, this person didn't return my call this week, so we couldn't do the story. And you look at the way this union situation is panning out, it pans out the way almost all union situations pan out. There's just a huge number of people who know, like, okay, there are people in this at the top who are in it for themselves. I'm actually in it for the greater good, but also I'm not going to die on this hill because I have my own life and things to worry about. And ultimately, it ends up with the whole, or whoever's coming after, getting screwed, because the previous generation didn't say, you know what, this is the hill we die on. If we die on this hill, whoever comes after us will flourish, because we will shut everything down here now. And I don't think we're at that point yet, but we're at a critical mass to where you're going to see the NFL Players Union, DeMaurice Smith. I don't think things are going to be the same. And if this deal goes through and it's for 10 years and there's no option to come back 5 years later, you're going to see, and this kind of teases into what we're going to talk about next, the franchise tags, but you're going to see a shift in the players' hands where they will never, ever be able to get any leverage back. It'll be done and over with.
I don't know. I think that's kind of dramatic.
That's what it's leaning towards.
I think that's kind of dramatic to say that they won't ever have their power back. I mean,
do you think the NFL can reach a point like where the players have enough not accountability, but like they have enough leverage like the NBA players do?
No, because there's way more of them, and they're a much higher turnover rate. So they're like, LeBron's been playing for 20 years.
Right.
Like, there's only like one player that's done that. Like,
how many LeBrons are in
like? There's not a lot of LeBrons.
And Brady's a free agent, and the Patriots don't even want to pay him what he wants, and he's taking pay cuts his whole career.
Do you think?
Which actually kind of hurt when guys take team-friendly deals. It actually hurts.
He's made the money back on the back end, though, like D-Wade.
Do you think the NFL should,
not everyone else,
and the players should go in that direction where they should try to push?
Ultimately, there's Rome. Even Rome fell, right? Even the Turkish Empire fell. Like, eventually, maybe the NFL will fall, but it's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot for another league to come through and try to break it up.
It's going to take a work stoppage.
But yeah, essentially it's going to take a labor strike, and it's going to have to take starving the owners out of their money before they relinquish any of their power.
And a lot of those owners don't make more money. They make money outside of football. So there's also that. It's like, okay, if you want to go somewhere, you're a top flight athlete.
There's the famous.
You risk your whole career.
There's the famous, incident with Vince Young where in the last work stoppage, like literally the next day, he was getting a payday loan, and so that's just kind of like how some people live still, even as millionaires. Like
Try to
some of them are still living.
Everybody.
Some of them are still living paycheck to paycheck, just because they don't know how to spend money. Like they don't know how to invest. They don't know how to. Like, and Marcellus Wiley's talked about this before. He's like, you go to school and, you live a certain lifestyle and you learn to live a certain way, growing up. Like I didn't really have shit either. So it really wasn't that big of adjustment to be a broke college student or whatever, be a broke student athlete. You just have to make. So, but then to go from that to, being a millionaire, I got some money in my pocket.
A multi-millionaire.
And then I look, and he went to Columbia, so he's like, and then I look at my other friends who are working on Wall Street. They graduate, they're making, 50, 60,000, which, is pretty decent, but not really with that kind of debt. But, slowly they're leveling up, and because they're slowly leveling up, their lifestyle staying the same. So as their money's growing, their lifestyle staying the same. They're learning how to do more with even more disposable income. Versus me, I just go overnight from nothing to something. So I don't even know what to do with this extra surplus of money that I've never had in my whole entire life. And now 5, 7, 10 years down the line, these guys are clearing, 6, 7 figures. And I'm on my way out the league. I'm on my way back to square zero. So now I'm back at zero, and it's like, it's just a whole nother switch up that you really can't prepare for unless, you're fortunate enough to come from a professional family athlete that your dad went through that, or, you're lucky enough to have a really close mentor that doesn't fuck you over somehow, because a lot of them, even high school coaches and college coaches that, hang around, it's not always the best outcome at the end. But
there's some NFL guys who've gotten screwed over by other NFL guys.
They're best friends, yeah. NFL people, they're best friends, they're brothers. Like there's
Ballers is perfect proof of
that. There's tons of it. So yeah, man, until just players overall learn how to take care of that money, they're always not going to have the leverage. But I don't think them signing a 10-year deal is going to give away their leverage. I think,
what leverage do they really have?
Exactly, until they figure that out. So with that, man, let's go ahead and move to touchdown or turnover. I can't see. There we go. First up, Mikhail, the PG, shout out to courtside, his Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Jones has retired. Psych. Has received the franchise tag from the Kansas City Chiefs.
I can't believe you just said that.
So, Kenny, is Chris Jones getting the franchise tag? Is that a touchdown or is that a turnover?
It's a turnover because he said it. He said in an interview with Colin Cowherd, who I find no credibility in him when it comes to him talking football. It's just, he got caught in the lie saying how he didn't like Vince Young. He wanted Tebow over Vince Young, but like Vince Young came way before Tebow. But whatever. When it comes to this, he was talking about, he's like, I'm a model citizen. I do everything I'm supposed to do in the community. I make plays. Like, what else? What more do you want from me? It's like bittersweet. It's a business, but it's like, what else? What more do you want from me? Like, because I'm going to get paid, but now I have to wait again. And this franchise tag just has to be done as far as what Jones is doing.
This is why I don't take video. Every time I try to take a video of you, you can't keep it. You can't give me a bit. God damn it!
You gotta catch. You gotta catch
when I don't record, then you say some shit in like 15 seconds. That's fire, and I'm like, wow, that would have been a great Instagram story. But as soon as I turn the camera on, you got like 7 takes in a row, giving me a dissertation.
I have to, but nah. In all seriousness, wow. In all seriousness, it's just A guy like him should get a fat payday. He shouldn't be forced to play on a franchise tag because if he gets hurt, his value will automatically diminish. And it's not fair. It's not right.
I'm gonna say it's a turnover for him as well, just because, as you said,
he helped him win a Super Bowl,
and it sucks to play for a 1-year deal. But I don't know, man. At least you can get traded to the losing Super Bowl team, right? Shout out to D Ford.
Man, he gonna snuff at you one day. That's how you get snuffed.
Shout out to Auburn.
I mean, they got guys.
With that, Travis Kelce, he tweeted something out about being pumped for the White House visit.
For the opportunity
to visit the White House. So, is that a touchdown or a turnover for Kelce? His brand.
It's funny somebody brought up he has the aesthetics of a black man. He's with a black woman, but his politics are right in line with middle America and most white people.
Okay, but that's
I was like, I understood that. No.
Because there's black people for Trump.
Yeah, but he's
there's
a white
plenty
dude
of black people for
who
Trump.
literally acts like a black guy. Like his whole mystique. Because his brother don't act like that, and they grew up in the same household. But him, total, like his whole demeanor, body language, swag is that of a black man. Because his brother, no one else in his family acts like that.
He's not the only one. He's probably not the only one in the NFL.
I get it. I get both sides of it. He just wants to go to the White House.
Yeah.
I understand that. But you have to look at the optics. It's like, bro, you got a black wife. Like, it goes back to the old adage of like a white dude can step in a black culture, put his feet all over the mat, walk to the table, in front of the table, kick his feet up, and people treat him like people will treat him better in black culture than other black men. And then when he goes and wants to meet President
Well, we already
Trump,
know Frank Clark is pumped. So
Frank, that's wild.
like we already know Frank Clark.
Like there's like a bunch of African American studies books and novels and theory. That's wild. And this is all during Black History Month.
And as for Kelce, black people influence everything. So
in his life, but it's like you're going to the White House.
But in life, black culture is mainstream culture at this point.
No, mainstream culture is black culture. It's
both
that way.
Both. It's
black
both.
people were doing their own shit, and then white people peek over and see it and try to copy it, and then usually do a shittier version, like a potato salad with raisins in it.
Yeah.
Did you ask for that?
Somewhat, but that's also part of American culture. It's a hodgepodge of different shit.
Yeah, but like, okay, if
where
black
the
culture,
fuck did a hamburger come from?
That's some German shit. That's German shit.
A burrito's American. A burrito's not
It's
Mexican.
a ripoff of Latino shit. They saw some Latinos, or they saw Latinos eating that food, and they said, "Oh, what's that rap called? Let's open Taco Bell and just make up a bunch of fake shit."
No, burritos aren't like a Mexican thing.
Yeah, they're not. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like white people. When we really say America, we're really talking about white people, because who else invented that shit? Like,
yeah, to an extent, yeah.
So
sure.
I get why he should catch hell, and he should, but it's like, hey, I'm only as outraged as his teammates. I'm not showing no more outrage. Like, if you think it's cool, fine. But if some racist shit happens to you, some horrible shit happens to you, I'm keeping the same energy you had.
That's fair. That's a fair stance.
It's like saying,
Kenny's growing up at 28 years old. Shout out to you, man.
Don't be shouting out my fucking age, bro. Like, you're right there behind me.
Bro, I thought I was 29 for literally 9 months.
What? You forgot it was a leap year?
Like, no, I had to go. Like,
by the way, I'm hitting up all the spots to get my free ice cream birthday.
I wish
shit.
one of my best friends from high school happy birthday in January. I was like, happy 28. We're almost to 30. I was like, wait, he's 28. That means I'm 28. I've been telling people I'm 28.